So one of the issues that lead to broken marriages, especially in the first year, is not keeping our mouth shut and
Wow.
solving our problems within.
Wow.
I get
That's
it.
powerful. That's
Yes,
powerful.
yes. Mm.
What I found out is that, especially the first year, young couples struggle quite a bit adjusting to marriages. Can you help us understand why such a challenge with the young couples?
And
Mm.
marriage is such a way that you are already awarded a certificate that you are now going to go into the schooling process, depending
Mm-hmm.
on where you were born and raised.
Mm-hmm.
Being a Ghanaian,
Mm-hmm.
most men have this notion that once you are married, your
Mm-hmm.
wife must do the cleaning, she must do the cooking, she must
Okay.
do everything. I want to say that whoever you are
Mm.
is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage would only come and throw more light on your weaknesses and on your strengths.
I
That's
like
what
that.
marriage does. There are
Mm.
some couples that the husband is keeping his financial
Mm-hmm.
situation away from the wife, and the one
Mm-hmm.
or the wife is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So they both don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Why is
Now,
that though? Why is that though? Why is everybody trying to keep their own? Is it
I
for
don't
their
know.
own benefit?
I don't know. That's why
Wow.
I'm saying,
Powerful. Powerful.
please
Powerful. Powerful.
keep
Powerful.
your mouth shut
Keep
and
your mouth
learn to
shut.
communicate properly
Right.
in your marriage.
Wow.
Learn
I
to
like that.
communicate properly in your marriage. I
Right.
will not sit down and watch
Mm-hmm.
my husband do something that
Mm-hmm.
is not good or I'm not happy about and think
Mm-hmm.
that I will not tell him in his face.
Yes,
Forget
yes,
it.
yes.
Yeah.
And from my own experience, I've seen a lot of friends and family members, their marriages collapse, and a lot of them are based on friends that they bring into the marriage. Can you touch a
Yes.
little bit on this for me? Because this is very dearly to me, and how young couples can actually navigate through the friendship and at the same time keep your marriage intact.
The
Yes.
moment you begin to share this intimate situations and
Mhm.
family and other
Friends.
issues that are personal and close with
Mhm.
friends,
That's it. It's done.
it's like you're washing your linens and drying them in the sun for
And
everybody to
in the
see.
North America, we say the
Hmm.
laundry. So I mean, we have shared a lot of information about in-laws, friends, and so forth. In terms of spiking up your marriage, because this can benefit people that are married for 20 years or even with their first year.
Hmm.
What can you tell me, or what can you share that young couples or older people can actually do to stay afloat and spike up their marriage over time?
Learn your partner's love language. What
Okay.
is the thing that makes him or her feel loved?
Mm-hmm.
Some people it's act of service. Some
Mm-hmm.
people it is gift when you buy them gift.
This question here, I really have to ask you, and especially when you're married and there's no children, right?
Mm.
The vibe is different. But
Mm-hmm.
as soon as kids comes in, which is a blessing from God, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it created its own challenges. And what I mean
Mm-hmm.
by that is,
Oh boy.
right, all of a sudden now you have a person where you have to both cater for, and you
Yeah.
don't see the other person like it used to be anymore now. Can you
Mm.
share some of your experience, or if you can talk a little bit about it, when couples actually eventually have kids, how they can
Mm.
navigate through the challenges?
Hmm. This is a very tough one. Yeah, because
Yeah,
myself, we've just had a baby. What I can
right.
say about this is that some partners, especially some men, ignore
Hmm.
the parenting responsibility on the woman as if it is her sole responsibility. No,
Right.
you wanted a child and you've gotten the child. So
Right.
whatever it takes, you
Hmm.
are in it together.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. And once again, welcome to Presenting Canada to the World. And today we're switching up a little bit and we're traveling all the way to UK. And I have a wonderful sister with me who is a marriage expert in so many different areas. So her name is Rita Siaw, and today we're going to be discussing about young couples and marriage and some of the challenges they face in marriage, especially in the first year. Rita, the floor is yours if you want to introduce yourself to the audience and tell us a little bit about yourself and a bit about your YouTube channel.
Hello, Kwabena. Thanks a lot for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity to share with your viewers and to also, get to learn from you as well. I'm so excited to be here. So I'm Rita Siaw. originally from Ghana, but based in the UK. Been married for 5 years now.
Okay.
And as you said, my channel is focused on relationship and marriage, motherhood, and personal development. So I share videos to inspire, especially women, even though I'm not saying it's just focused on women. Please, if you're a guy, you can still
Yeah.
subscribe to my channel and watch my content. And if you like
Yeah.
my content, why not?
Yeah.
Let's stay glued together and you get to learn a lot. So I'm now based in the UK. I'm a mother of one, and I'm working in the childcare. That's all I can say about my work currently. That's a little bit about me, I would say. But I run a non-profit called Feminist Africa, which is an NGO based in Ghana, focused on women empowerment, where we provide skills training. We give scholarships to young girls to further their education. We also give micro business support to women to do their businesses. And we support small businesses here and there to expand. We currently have a project going on called School Sanitation Project, where we build urinals for schools in rural villages where they don't have any. We just want to help develop rural schools and make them comfortable for children and teachers there. So basically, this is me. You can follow me on Instagram, on Facebook, and you can also check my channel out, Rita Siaw, on YouTube.
Excellent. And I think we have a very, very important topic to discuss today. So let's dive into it. The topic is going to focus about young couples and marriages. And you've been married for 5 years, as you have shared your story. I find it very challenging. I myself, I'm also married, so I also have an insight into marriage as well. But what I found out is that, especially the first year, young couples struggle quite a bit adjusting to marriages. Can you help us understand why such a challenge with the young couples?
I would say when the process of even the marriage is the beginning of the whole problem. Okay. One thing I've realized is that as young people, when we want to get married, we think the celebration is the marriage, instead of understanding that the moment it is after the celebration that the marriage process begins. Yeah. When the celebration of coming together and saying, yes, I do, is done, that's when the journey begins. And marriage is such a way that you are already awarded a certificate that you are now going to go into the schooling process. It's a journey. It's a process. It's a learning institution. It is not already made and done and you're just going to sit in and watch. No, marriages that work are marriages that are built on understanding, trust, love, communication. And these are the key things that makes marriage work. But young people, we step into marriage thinking that the celebration must be glamorous, it must be perfect, just as you want it. We have this kind of thought in our mind. Movies we've watched and things we've experienced or seen makes us feel like this is how my marriage must be. So if I don't have that, then so people go into marriages thinking that everything has to be glamorous, and they spend so much at the beginning, which is just a celebration of the marriage before starting the process. So once they step in, they realize that, oh, probably we've incurred lots of debt we need to clear. We've made mistakes and things, and this begin to build up stress, begins to build up mistrust, begin to build up a lot of things that they are not even expecting. Another reason why young marriages suffer is because we've set very high expectations for ourselves.
What do you mean by that?
Come again?
What do you mean by high expectations?
We set very high expectations for ourselves. Like marriage, it has to be perfect. Like, for instance, depending on where you were born and raised, being a Ghanaian, most men have this notion that once you are married, your wife must do the cleaning, she must do the cooking, she must do everything. All right. And so the guy is going into marriage thinking that some of them I've been saying on social media, I read a lot of people making comments like, I can't wait to get married so that I can start doing ABC. As if the woman you're going to marry is now your house help or a maid.
Right.
Yeah, things
Yeah.
like that, which
Yeah. Yeah.
makes it
Yeah.
really very difficult. So we set some kind of sometimes high expectations, other times unrealistic expectations. Do
Mm-hmm.
you get me? Because
Mm-hmm.
some things are not real. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you live, especially in this country where we live in, UK,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where you realize that your wife is working, you are working,
Yeah.
you both must work in order to be able to have to meet the financial need of the family, to be able
Mm-hmm.
to pay all your bills and be able to live happily as a family. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you are not even able to save anything towards the future because of the level of work you are doing currently. It's not
Mm-hmm.
enough, it's not sufficient. So
Mm-hmm.
it is either one sacrifices,
Mm-hmm.
do you get it,
Mm-hmm.
for the whole family, or both of you decide to meet at a point. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't say that you put all the pressure on your wife to do
Mm-hmm.
everything. Once she's back from work tired, you are now expecting her to go to the kitchen, whilst probably you, it has been your day off and you've been with the child. Why not
Mm-hmm.
do those things? So sometimes we
Mm-hmm.
set unrealistic expectations or too high expectations. Too
Wow.
high being that people think that once you become married,
Mm-hmm.
um everything will be different.
Mm.
I want to say that whoever you are
Mm.
is who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage would only come and throw more light on your weaknesses and on your strengths.
I
That's
like
what
that.
marriage does.
I
It
like
will
that. I like
only
that.
it
Yes.
will only highlight the
Yeah.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Of you.
So don't think that when you get married,
Mm-hmm.
you will change, or when you get married, you become happier. If you are a
Mm-hmm.
sad, melancholic person, you are
Mm-hmm.
not happy, you are not a happy person, when you get into
Mm-hmm.
marriage, it will only get worse, because there would definitely be situations that would push
Mm-hmm.
you to the wall. These are two
Mm-hmm.
different human beings coming together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
trying to,
Make things work.
live under the same roof, make
Mm-hmm.
things work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
what makes it work is when you know that my partner has this weakness, but I love her anyway. My partner has
Yes.
this weakness and strength, but I love him anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
then you work through the challenges and the difficulties. You work through them as they come.
Wow.
You work through them. You
Wow.
still
Wow.
see this person you married. He is the
Mm-hmm.
same person you've married.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has changed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that would change is when maybe it gets to a point where you begin to see things that you were not expecting to see or has never been there, and it
Mm-hmm.
begins to
See.
you kind of you begin to
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah.
So he or she is just that same person. So
Yeah.
marriage would only come to highlight your weaknesses
Mm-hmm.
or your strengths.
So
So if we set too high,
is
mhm,
that why like people really struggle in the first year? Because I seen like usually a lot of couples
mm,
break up in the first year or two. So are these some of the reasons why these couples can't stand each other after the honeymoons and all the celebrations?
yes, that is because we've
Mm-hmm.
one set too high expectations or unrealistic expectations, and
Mm-hmm.
then instead of taking time to rather step
Mm-hmm.
into the marriage and grow the marriage gradually,
Mm-hmm.
we want to run and have everything happen like now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I would like to touch a little bit on the
Mm-hmm,
finances aspect, right? Because
mm-hmm,
as we all know, not just pertaining to young couples alone, but
mm-hmm,
even people that are married for 20 years. That's
mm.
one of the hurdles that
Yes,
they never overcome in terms of
yes,
finances.
yes.
Can you
That's one
educate us
thing.
on that a little bit?
Definitely. One of the challenges that couples face, again,
Mm-hmm.
especially young couples, is financial issue. There are
Mm-hmm.
some couples that the husband is keeping his financial
Mm-hmm.
situation away from the wife, and one
Mm-hmm.
or the wife is doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So they both don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Why is
Now,
that though? Why is that though? Why is everybody trying to keep their own? Is it
I
for
don't
their
know.
own benefits?
I don't know. Sometimes selfishness, maybe. Other
Mm-hmm.
times, I just don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So, what I would advise is people must come to a consensus. No,
Mm-hmm.
as soon as you get married, you should know
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
you are now one. Your
Okay.
finances are together.
I like that.
So, be open about what you are earning and what both of you are earning. Then you know
Mm-hmm.
that this is the total amount coming in. Then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of every month, you know
Mm-hmm.
that these are the expenses we have to do, and this is how
Right.
much is left, and we are saving this portion towards this. So my husband and I, what we do, which really helps us every time, is every year
Mm-hmm.
ending, we come
Mm-hmm.
together and look ahead. Like, we first of all reflect the past years. What were the expenses that were recurring expenses that we did? What were the expenses that were unexpected expenses that came in? How much was the unexpected? So we put it together and say, okay, so this coming year we'll put this amount down for unexpected expenditures for monthly, and then we know the recurring expenditures already. So at the end of the month, we know that there is this little thing left. So this is how much we can save every month.
Right.
By making room for each other to be able to spend in case they want to do something on their own. So you don't feel like you are being pushed, your money is being taken away from you. Because I've actually spoken to a friend who mentioned somewhere like as if she's financially abused.
Okay.
She doesn't even have access to her own her own money. She works, but she can't spend, she can't do things she wants to. We need to talk to each other about money. And that's been a serious issue in every marriage.
Wow.
And this issue needs to be solved. It needs to be solved.
And I think a lot of them, I like what you just said, right? Because a lot of them has to come down to communication, right?
Communication.
And then the trusting aspect, because sometimes you don't know what the other person is thinking. So one person has to be bold enough and say, you know what, let's open up. This is how much I make. This is how much you make. Either we do a joint account, or you can have your separate account, but we have a common account where we put some money in to pay the bills. And then at the same time, the lady or the man can have their own little that they can also use as well. So I think I like the idea.
Yeah, because for us, that's how we've made it work. When my husband takes his salary, he knows how much I'm also taking. We have a specific amount of money that we save every month.
I would like to get your opinion on this, right? Especially when individuals first get married. Eventually, when you have kids, right, you're gonna need the help from the in-laws. But I always find that it gets very complicated when you married and in-laws are heavily involved. I'm not saying that they should not be involved. When they're heavily involved, I think that sometimes can also create some sort of uncomfortableness. For example, if the lady has a situation, she will run to her mom, or if the guy has a situation, he will run to his mom. Can you touch a little bit on this for me and explain to the audience some of the challenges that comes with the in-laws and what they can do to navigate from this stress?
So one of the issues that lead to broken marriages, especially in the first year, is not keeping our mouth shut and solving our problems within.
Wow.
I get
That's powerful.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Yes. Some people were raised in a way that maybe the lady or the man is a mommy's boy or girl or whatever.
Okay.
So the person feels like everything, I have to talk to my mom. I have to seek my mom's idea. I need to find I need to see what my mom will say. What does my mommy think? What does my dad think? No, please.
Okay.
As soon as you become a married woman or man,
right,
you have taken the decision to be responsible.
Okay.
Until it gets to a particular point, which we pray we don't get there.
Right.
You don't need people to come in to solve the problems that are non-existent.
Wow.
Yes, some people create problems that are non-existent. Imagine you have petty little challenges with your spouse.
Right.
And every minute you call your father, your mother, telling them he's done this today, he's done that, she's done this, she's done that.
Yeah.
You are creating a very negative image of your partner. In your parents or whoever you are talking to's mind.
Yes.
That's what you are creating.
Right.
Even if you get to a point where he or she does something serious, but you still love this person and you still want to be with the person. And you get to you decide to now tell your parent that he's done this, and they'll still have the same negative thoughts about him. Now, if he comes to a point where he does the best thing in the whole world for you, give his kidney for you or whatever to you,
still
they will still have that negative mind thoughts or whatever about him. That's why I'm just trying to say this. However you make your husband or wife appear to your family is how they will see him or
They
her.
will treat
No
them.
matter
They will
how
treat them as
good
well. Yes.
she is being
Mm,
to you or is or would
mm,
ever be to you,
mm.
the negative always kind of overshadow all the good. That's why
Wow.
I'm saying,
Powerful. Powerful.
please
Powerful. Powerful.
keep
Powerful.
your mouth shut
Keep
and
your mouth
learn to
shut.
communicate properly
Right.
in your marriage.
Wow.
Learn
I
to
like.
communicate properly in your marriage. I
Right.
will not sit down and watch
Mm-hmm.
my husband do something that
Mm-hmm.
is not good or I'm not happy about and think
Mm-hmm.
that I will not tell him in his face.
Yes.
Forget
Yes.
it.
Yes. Yes.
I
You
will tell you
communicate.
right in your face. Let's
Right.
talk about it and talk it
And
out
move on.
now.
And move on.
Sometimes you don't even have to talk about it now and then when he does it. Just leave
Mm-hmm.
him be. Let him enjoy himself. Have the fun. Let him
Yes.
be on his high horse. Let him
Right.
be happy. That
Yes.
time that you find him in that joyous moment, that's when you
Yes.
bring that little thing up.
Wow.
Baby,
Smart.
you
Smart.
remember
Smart.
you did this?
Smart. Smart.
That
Smart.
wasn't nice. I wasn't happy about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then
Then
you move
you
on.
see, because he's in a good mood, he would feel the urge to apologize and say sorry. But in
Right.
that moment that he's very angry and you're also angry and well, the outcome is fight. That's it. So we need to learn to
Oh,
communicate our
the right
feelings, our
time. At the right
emotions.
time. At the right time as
Yes,
well.
at the right time.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
have any challenge, we should talk about it
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
together. If you
Yeah.
feel like you are not happy in the marriage, talk about it. Say
Right.
how you are feeling, why you are feeling that way. Let
Yeah.
your partner know because they can read your mind. They are not mind
True.
readers, so they
True.
can read your
True.
mind.
And I think
Uh-huh.
a lot of
Mm.
people struggle with that, right? The expectation that you talked about, thinking that
Yes.
hey, Rita
Yes.
knows how I'm feeling without voicing
Yeah.
it out. But
Yeah.
with that direction from this topic, also,
Mm.
I know friendship
Mm-hmm.
also with respect to the in-laws that we just talked about,
Mm.
friendship also either can make you or break you.
Yeah.
And from my own experience, I've seen a lot of friends and family members, their marriages collapse. And a lot of them are based on friends that they bring into the marriage. Can you touch a
Yes.
little bit on this for me? Because this is very dearly to me and how young couples can actually navigate through the friendship and at the same time keep your marriage intact.
But
Okay.
one thing I've realized that is destroying marriages is people having some kind of friendships that they still hold on to even when they get married. I'm not
Uh-huh.
saying do away with your friends once you get married. No, that's not it.
Right.
Keep this friendship, but know how
Mm-hmm.
far you want to, go with this friendship.
Right.
Know what to go and share or talk about with your friend. You
Mm-hmm.
know, your husband is like your best friend. Your
Right.
husband should be your secret, your
Mm-hmm.
gossip partner. Your husband should be your secret admirer. Your husband or your partner or
Yeah.
your wife should be
Yeah.
that person that you sit down and
Yes.
discuss your
Yeah.
personal things with,
Mm-hmm.
but not another person who is outside of the marriage. The
Yes.
moment you begin to share this intimate situations and
Mm-hmm.
family and other
Friends.
issues that are personal and close with
Mm-hmm.
friends,
That's it. It's done.
it's like you're washing your linens and drying them in the sun for
And
everybody to
in the
see.
North America, we say the
Hmm.
laundry. So I mean, we have shared a lot of information about in-laws, friends, and so forth. In terms of spiking up your marriage, because this can benefit people that are married for 20 years or even with their first year.
Hmm.
What can you tell me or what can you share that young couples and older people can actually do to stay afloat and spike up their marriage over time?
Learn your partner's love language. What
Okay.
is the thing that makes him or her feel loved?
Mm-hmm.
Some people it's act of service. Some
Mm-hmm.
people it is gift when you buy them gift. For
Right.
some people it is just having intimacy makes
Mm-hmm.
them feel loved. People
Mm-hmm.
have different things that makes them feel loved.
True.
Learn what makes your partner feel loved
Mm-hmm.
and then do these things intermittently. I'm not saying buy gifts for her every blessed day, but at
Mm-hmm.
least if it's her birthday, it's Valentine's Day, try
Mm-hmm.
and do those things, try
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, do something little.
Yeah.
It is not about how much or how expensive the gift is. It's just the
Mm-hmm.
thought that comes with it that makes
Mm-hmm.
that person feel loved. It's not the
Right.
price you bought it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And
that
then,
probably it leads to romantic. Then some people are not romantic. A lot of people
yeah, let's try to
together.
be a little romantic.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to. Some of us don't know how to, but you have to learn it.
Okay.
That's why YouTube is there. You can learn anything.
Yes.
Anything. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
there are courses you can even take online. There are
Mm-hmm.
things you can do. Now, depending on where you find yourself as well,
Mm-hmm.
please find activities that you both find interest in and do
Wow.
them together. These are
Powerful.
actually the things that brought you two together. The fact that
Okay.
you share common things, you share
Mm-hmm.
things in common, like
Right.
interests, hobbies, you share these things in common. So why
Right.
are you now married and thinking something else extraordinary will make the marriage work?
Right.
Putting these things into work is what will make your marriage
Yeah.
sustainable. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you two
Mm-hmm.
love hiking. Why not just, once in a while, go
Right.
hike somewhere, enjoy nature,
Mm-hmm.
go for a walk,
Mm-hmm.
go somewhere and have some good time together.
Right.
It doesn't have to even take a lot of money to do some of these things. They are
Right.
just within your local area and where you find yourself. The
Right.
more you do things together, the more you discover each other better, the more
Mm-hmm.
you grow your love for each other, and
Wow.
the more your energy, replenishes. Yeah,
Wow.
and
Wow.
you
Wow.
grow together happily.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I will not
Powerful.
say there is a perfect marriage, but
Mm-hmm.
there are good marriages that
Okay.
we should also look at as examples to guide ourselves. There are
True.
people who have been in marriage for years,
Mm-hmm.
and what made their marriages work, we should
Mm-hmm.
learn from them. That's something that I do a lot. I read
Right.
books about marriages,
Mm-hmm.
about people sharing their marriage
Mm-hmm.
stories, and it helps a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely. I think
Mhm.
this question here, I really have to ask you, and especially when you're married and there's no children, right?
Mhm.
The vibe is different. But
Mhm.
as soon as kids comes in, which is a blessing from God, but
Mhm.
sometimes it creates its own challenges. And what I mean
Mhm.
by that is,
Oh boy.
right, all of a sudden now you have a person where you have to both cater for, and
Yeah.
you don't see the other person like it used to be anymore now. Can you
Mhm.
share some of your experience, or if you can talk a little bit about it, when couples actually eventually have kids, how they can
Mhm.
navigate through the challenges?
Hmm. This is a very tough one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
myself, we've just had a baby who is
Okay.
now 18 months. She's
Okay.
yet to be 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So she's getting into that toddler stage and running around and breaking
Right.
things.
Right.
But we have to make it work.
Okay.
Sadly for us, we had a baby here, no mother, no father, no siblings, nobody
Wow.
was here to help. My
Wow.
sister was staying like hours away from me, so traveled over just the first week that I had a baby and stayed for just, I think, about 5 days to a week, and that was the
Right.
end. From
Right.
there till now, we had to do it. We have to make sure it works.
Wow.
One thing I would say is that both of you should be involved
Okay.
in raising the child.
Mm-hmm.
Please, the women, when we have children, it is a lot of work. The
Yes.
process we go through to bring the baby out
Yes.
is not easy. Now,
Yeah.
after the baby is out,
Mm-hmm.
breastfeeding or whatever, raising, and so many other things,
Yeah.
plus you adding a job to it, which means extra responsibility.
Right.
The last time we had a call, you saw my hair.
Yeah.
I had my natural afro, long, plenty hair on. But
Right.
just this morning, I cut my hair down.
Wow.
Somebody, you asked me why. I woke
Mm-hmm.
up this morning and I was like, you know what? I am done with this hair. I don't have time to go and
Wow.
waste in the salon that I'm
Right.
doing my hair. I am
Right.
working, raising a child together with my husband. He is
Right.
hands on. He
Right.
helps, he does everything,
Mm-hmm.
change nappy, feeds
Yeah.
her, picks
Yeah.
her up from school, takes her to school, and stuff
Mhm.
like that. But still, there
Right.
is not enough time.
Right.
And the toll it takes on even you, the woman,
Yes.
is something. I was
Mm-hmm.
losing the edges of my hair. My hair was coming out from the roots. My hair that was so heavy and thick is no more. Can you
Yes.
imagine?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and it takes a lot of toll on us. What I can
Right.
say about this is that some partners, especially some men, ignore
Mm-hmm.
the parenting responsibility on the woman as if it is her sole responsibility. No,
Right.
you wanted a child and you've gotten the child. So,
Right.
whatever it takes,
Mm-hmm.
you are in it together. That's what
I
I want
agree.
people to understand.
I agree.
You
I
are
agree.
in it together. And
I agree.
whatever example we set for our children is what
Right.
they will grow to see.
Right.
My family, my parents raised me knowing that a man
Mhm.
must work, a man can cook. My daddy will go
Right.
and fetch water, cook and serve us and do everything. So
Right.
when I'm married now, I know
Mhm.
that I
Mhm.
expect my husband to help me in doing these things. So
Yeah, but
please,
I
for the
think
men, as for this one, I'm
not to cut you off though, but at the
mhm,
same time raising the kid, how does the
mm,
couple also keep the love language and the relation going? Because
let
sometimes we tend to
going
ignore that.
good. Yes, it is very, very easy to ignore those things. Can you
Yes.
imagine that my husband and I have been planning a date for like this is the second month
Right.
and we've
Right.
never had that date yet just
Wow.
because of yes, that is it.
Okay.
That we all have to make time for each other.
Okay.
And last time I was just talking to him and I was like, do you know since for a year now I've not had your touch before. It's been a whole year since I've had your touch the last time. It
Wow.
was
Wow.
like I made it sound like it's a long time. I
Right.
just joking. But one thing is this: as soon as you have a child,
Right.
you keep all your focus on the child and forget each other. Please,
Right.
we need to make time for each other and make
Right.
sure that the things that we used to do, we
Right.
bring them back and keep practicing them even when we have the child. Get
Wow.
a child minder to take care of your child or a
Right.
babysitter or
Hmm.
somebody to take care of the child, pay for
Right.
someone's
Right.
services whilst you two go out there and
Right.
just spend some time together and
Yeah.
do something with your lives.
Yeah.
And the more happy you are together, it
Hmm.
reflects in your family. You
Yeah.
feel that joy in your child's face as well.
Right.
Uh,
Right. Right. Right.
because
Right.
whatever you feel as a parent, your child feels the same. If there
Yeah.
is fighting, quarrel, and whatever in the house, the
Hmm.
child comes, feeling
Hmm.
that way and acting that way. When there is joy and laughter, you will
Hmm.
always see your child laughing and screaming and, all
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow. Wow. Powerful, powerful,
yeah.
powerful. But so I think probably this is going to be my last question, though.
Mhm.
And I think we touch on a lot of issues and you have
Mhm.
given us a lot of resolutions. So, what would be your last advice or comment for people that are married for a long time and at the same time, young couples, especially the people within that 1 year to 5 year threshold? What would be
Mhm.
your last word for them or your final advice for them?
My final advice is never be in your marriage and be looking at somebody else's marriage and thinking they are having it.
Wow. Why would
Or
you say that?
yes, sometimes we compare ourselves to other people,
Mm-hmm.
forgetting about all the other things that we have to take into consideration, and
Right.
we feel like we are not having a good marriage and other people are having a good marriage. That is
Wow.
not good. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you begin comparing your marriage to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you're tempted to it. You would even get to the point where you can lose your marriage because you feel like you might be pushing blames, thinking that your partner is not doing what he or she has to do, but it
Mm-hmm.
is actually not true. You are
Mm-hmm.
not being realistic. You are just sometimes we see marriages portrayed on social media and whatsoever. People would only share the moments with you, not the like the nitty gritties that goes on. You don't see those. Behind the
Wow.
scenes, you don't see those fights and
Wow.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only advise: do not
Mm-hmm.
look at somebody else's marriage and compare it
Mm-hmm.
to yours and think that you are in a
Love
terrible
that.
marriage. No,
Love that.
just appreciate your marriage just as it is.
Mm.
Secondly, understand that there is no perfect marriage anywhere. We are
Right.
all human beings,
Mm-hmm.
imperfect human beings, coming
Right.
together, trying to make something beautiful, lovely, not
Wow.
perfect.
Right.
Perfection is boring. So don't try to seek for perfection in your marriage. Try
Wow.
to seek for growth. Try to seek for love. Try to seek
Mm.
for maturity. These are the
Mm.
things that I feel
Mm.
when we have them in a marriage, it makes
Mm-hmm.
you happy and
Wow.
you would have a good marriage. That's
Wow. Wow.
basically this is
I feel like you
what
have
it boils
ministered
down
to
to.
I feel like you have ministered to me. This is very, very, very powerful interview. And Rita, I can't say enough to thank you. This has been really inspirational. And
Thank you. I'm glad
yes,
to hear
and I think I'm
that.
gonna take a lot of nuggets from you, and especially it says it's not about perfection, it's about the growth.
Mm,
Really love that.
yeah.
Love the love language aspect. Make sure you discover the love language of your loved one.
Mm,
And
mm,
also when the baby comes in, make sure you make some time. to care for each other. And then the
Yes.
in-law situation, make sure you get that under control.
Yes.
Friendship, make sure you get that under control. So that's a
Mm.
bit of a summary of what I learned from you today. And it's been really a blessing to me. So thank you very much. And I appreciate this
You're
conversation.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me. And hey, don't forget, guys, check out my channel. Check out my channel and subscribe. Yes,
Please,
let's make
please,
this
please,
happen.
please. There's a lot of good
I'm hoping
content there.
to
So,
reach 1,500 subscribers very soon. So let's do
wow.
this. Let's make
Let's
this
do it
work.
together. All right, man. Sister, thank you
Yeah,
so much. Thank you.
you're welcome. Bye.